Mr. Vice President, and Mr. Speaker, and members of the Senate and House of Representatives. Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy, the United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. Famous words indeed, but what did they really mean? The United States has not yet declared war in Europe or the Pacific, although the Axis, the Triple Alliance of Germany, Russia, and Japan, have been tearing up the world on both fronts. So far, we believe Japan's deceptive peaceful cordialities, but they have plans to occupy the whole of Greater East Asia. We meet their first moves with embargoes. Frustrated, the Japanese plan preemptive strikes on our major Navy base in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, hoping to knock out our 3 Pacific aircraft carriers, USS Enterprise, Lexington, and Saratoga, 30 minutes after a declaration of war. It's Sunday morning, and skies are clear over Hawaii. At 7:55, Japanese planes appear on the horizon in a first wave of attack. Bad weather prompted an early launch, and the clear skies above target invite an early attack before the declaration of war. Their second wave follows at 8:54 the same day. They've arrived and will depart in total inconspicuousness, losing only 29 aircraft to our defensive action. Mercifully, our carriers are out at sea. By the end of that fateful morning, the Japanese have bombed and strafed 6 of our airfields and torpedoed and bombed 8 of our battleships, 3 of our destroyers, and 3 of our cruisers. Some survive, some beach, some sink, and some, like the USS Shaw and Arizona, explode. 2,403 American citizens, soldiers as well as civilians, lose their lives. Foolishly, the attackers failed to hit our oil tanks and submarine bases and did not complete their original goal, to sink our carriers. But they've done enough, and thoroughly aroused, we join arms with the Allied forces. The facts of yesterday and today speak for themselves. The people of the United States have already formed their opinions and well understand the implications to the very life and safety of our nation. The following day, U.S. President Franklin Roosevelt addresses Congress. December 7th will be a day of infamy, he says, confident the people stand with him in his coming declaration of war. But always will our whole nation remember the character of the onslaught against us. He ends his address by asking Congress to declare a state of war between the United States and the Empire of Japan, existing as of Sunday the 7th, the day of the attack. And we will win the war, he proudly asserts. No matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people, in their righteous might, will win through to absolute victory. Our response was fearsome, but it took us nearly 4 years to defeat them, a formidable enemy. And in the end, though we avenged the lives lost at Pearl Harbor, we lost many more in the war in the Pacific. It's troubling listening to Roosevelt's speech, and the wild applause that intersperses it, and the proud rendition of the national anthem at the end. Did they really know what they were getting into? In that hot spirit of patriotic indignation, could they realize the extent of it all? The only possible conclusion harkens back to some of the concluding words of our declaration of war. With confidence in our armed forces, with the unbounding determination of our people, we will gain the inevitable triumph. So help us God.